So she never picked up the phone again. This is 2015. Since 2015, she never picked up the phone again. I've called her at work. I've left her messages. Well, during that time, because I'm like, is she going through something? Because we had zero problems. So that's one person. The next person was Brian. Brian and I kept in touch a little bit during that time because he was a married man. We just were friends, and we did business together. And he's like cis. He respect black women. Like stuff like that. We had zero issues. In one of those calls, he told me that he had gotten into a car accident, and that like every job that he got, something horrific would happen that he had to lose that job. And one of those calls that we had, he was snapping at me. He snapped at me for nothing. Like nothing happened. He was just like annoyed, and not because of what he was going through now. So don't misunderstand me. Because some people's gonna say maybe because he was, no, he just was snapping. Then I noticed a pattern with the next person, Vernon. I called him. I was like, "Wait, what's up?" And he was like, "Man, where you at?" And I was like, "Yeah, I left. I went to North. I'm in North Carolina now. I'm in Charlotte because he got family out here." And he's like, "Yeah, I moved." And I told him where I was at, and he was like, "Oh man, you didn't even tell me you was leaving or nothing, And he started to snap at me. He's like, "I'll call you right back," and he hung up the phone. He didn't even give me a chance to say nothing, to say anything else. And so I'm like, that's kind of crazy. I was in my head. So maybe a couple months later, I gave him another call, and he answered the phone. And I was like, "What's up? How you doing now?" And he was like, "Yeah, who's this?" And I told him because I had a different phone number. And he was like, "I only picked up the phone because I thought you was my peoples, and my peoples live out there." And I was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "What's up? Like, what's wrong?" And he was like, "I'll call you back," and hung up the phone. And that was 2015, and I haven't spoken or picked up the phone and called him ever again. Now, I mentioned 3 people. I mentioned Annette, I mentioned Brian, I mentioned Vernon. There was let me tell you. And then, oh wait, I forgot one person. My friend Melinda. Melinda and I know each other since our early 20s. We met at a club. We used to club together. Every weekend we was at that club, so it became like our house. It's a safe club, so we were okay. And she would mess with people that would be kind of like verbally abusing her, and so I would always step in, and we became friends. So for years, since I was 22, my awakening started in my 40s, like early 40s. Friends. We went out and did things in New York, like we'll meet someplace, but she had her life, I had my life. We wasn't like intertwining our personal lives together. So sometimes we'll meet for dinner, go out to the movie, do things, like friends. And I know for a fact she looked up to me with a high level of respect. Now, these people and I never got into disagreements, fights, or anything. So I do not know. I'm not sure what the problem was. I'm not sure what the problem was. I just know that
Slight right onto the Brawley School Road East ramp, then turn right onto North Carolina 1100.
I just know that one day...
Turn right onto North Carolina 1100 Brawley School Road, then use the second from the left lane to turn left onto Talbert Road.
I just know that one day they started snapping, like angry as if we
had... At the light, use the second from the left lane.
They were angry as if we had problems, like something happened. So I was telling Melinda what I listened, and I was stressed out because Melinda, I could talk to her like that. And I was telling her what I was going through and what's going on over here, and this is craziness. And she snapped at me. Giselle, what are you doing with your life? You're an adult. You gotta. And I'm like, what? I'm telling her what's happening to me, and she's acting as if she lives a crazy life. I never told her anything about me Before, it was always her going from relationship to relationship, cheating on her, emotionally cheating on her partners. You know, it was always her with the drama. So I don't know what she snapped, but that is the reaction that I was getting from everybody. So I just mentioned the people that I knew for a long time to make a point, but that is the snapping, like snapping from everybody. So I became afraid and I stopped calling people. And then I changed my number quite a few times because it didn't matter if they had my number or not. They were not trying to, you know, reach out to me. And like I said, I made a point to tell you that these people and I, we had a high level of respect for one another, right? We had a high level of respect for one another. So there was no reason for them to talk to me like that, for me to talk to them like that. It was just crazy. And what's funny is that to this day, we have not been in contact. Like I said, I changed my number a lot of times, but I had maybe a couple of conversations with all of them for me to come to the conclusion that I do not want to be in contact with them because that was too crazy, and maybe God did not want me to have anything that has to do with my old life. So now my question to you, spiritual gurus wannabe, what do you think? Now you may think, oh, well, you answer your own question. No, I just want to hear it. I really would like to hear what people really have to say that was happening, you know, because sometimes it pops up in my head like, what happened? And, you know, I don't have the answer to it. All right. So let me know what you think happened.